Stop what you're doing and check this out. Beautiful texture. A perfect colorful square. Easy color transitions on the go. Beautiful drapey fabric. Pretty in the front and pretty in the back. Pure granny square heaven. So gorgeous. And this is the world premiere of the Double Crunch Granny Square. Hey there, and welcome to the Totally Fierce Crochet channel. And after countless trials, I finally cracked the Double Crunch Granny Square. While trying it, I had a feeling that one day I might crack this, and I was sure that it is going to be absolutely amazing. And my intuition wasn't wrong. I mean, this is like pure granny square heaven. And of course, I have to show you how to make such a super beautiful double crunch granny square. Because quite honestly, I've never had a granny square this soft and drapey like it is. I mean, it's just beyond pretty and it feels so good. I could touch it all day. And it doesn't stop at the front because the back looks equally pretty. I mean, look at this beautiful pattern and the beautiful texture. It's super flat in the back, where it's a bit more structured in the front, but it's equally pretty. I mean, what can I say? Will this be the most beautiful granny square ever? And it's so easy to make. And of course, you can use it for so many different projects, for clothing, for bags, for pillowcases. I mean, for every project that uses granny squares, you can definitely use this and you will get like such a beautiful result. And of course, with my tutorial, you will always get the perfect granny square. So this tutorial is split into two parts. First up, I'm going to show you how to create yourself this multicolor granny square with color changes on the go. And we will also take care of all the yarn ends on the go, which is of course absolutely amazing. And then in the second part, I'm going to give you already a little idea that was born again out of necessity while I was sweating my best assets off while filming for Battle of the Stitches because it was super, super warm. So I came up with the idea to use the granny square as a beautiful sweat rack. I hope you can see it. And it even has like a little hanger where you could also put like one of these snap locks and then have it on your bag or your pants when you're out there and it's warm and hot, and you can use this to either dry your head or wherever you're sweaty. So I created these super fun sweat racks, and here you also see how the pattern looks in one color, and I even increased the hook size to make it even more squishy, and personally I think it really feels like a towel. So beautiful, so soft. So here's the solid color version. Then I played around with this yarn that I had for years now but never used it. It's also a cotton, and again with the hanger to have it like as a little sweat rack or dishcloth, of course, but honestly I think this is too pretty for a dishcloth. So when you're using variegated yarn like this, you don't see the pattern that well, but I mean, if you feel it, it's absolutely amazing. And another one just with some scrap yarn that I already had. Some of you might remember the shorts that I made last year. So this was a leftover yarn. And again, isn't this absolutely beautiful? I'm so in love with this. I mean, and again, so now I have 3 sweat racks to use or to take with me when I go out to film. So I will show you in the second part of this video how to start. So you get the little chain hanger here, and then show you a few rounds with just one color where we don't change the color, just so you see it. But that will be then in part 2. But let's just start with part 1, the multicolor granny square. And for this granny square, I used, again, some leftover yarn from projects. It's rainbow cotton or Friends cotton from Hobby, H6 quality, and just multiple colors. You can play around with it. They say 3.5 to 4 millimeter hook size to be used with, and I also used a 4 millimeter crochet hook. And then, of course, as always, the yarn needle, and of course the scissors, and you're basically good to go. If granny squares in general are completely new for you, then I highly recommend you to check out my video, 3 tips to make your granny squares better. I'm going to link it up here or up there. I never know. And there you will find out how to start the granny square, how to make the corners, and how to get granny squares that don't need blocking. By the way, this is not blocked, so this is exactly how it comes out. So absolutely symmetrical and perfect. But I think now we can start. So I'm just going to make the same like I had it here. So I'm going to start with the yellow, then the lavender, the orange, the mint green, the dark red. But we'll see. I will not do the whole thing because honestly I don't even know what to do with it, but it's just so pretty. Maybe I should just put it on the wall. And I'm going to start with the gray. And first up, we start with a magic ring. Here's how I make my magic ring. If you have a different method, go ahead. I do as if I would do a slip knot, and then I take my end yarn and just put it right where my finger was, and then I just close it, put the hook in, and then just drag on my working yarn, because like that the magic ring is already done. And the first round is going to be a little bit different than all the other rounds, but on the other side, the first round is 100% the same way like I always do my granny squares. And we start with our first cluster, and the first cluster in this case and in all other granny square cases starts with a fake double crochet. So go in the magic ring, grab the yarn, pull it through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both of them just as if you would do a single crochet, and then you go back into this front bar right here, yarn over, pull it through, 2 loops again, yarn over and pull through, and like that you get a fake double crochet. And then we do 2 more double crochets. So yarn over, go in the ring, grab the yarn, pull it through, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and another one to finish our first cluster like that. Then we chain 2. Then we do 3 more clusters of 3 double crochets, always divided by a chain 2. So now we have our 4 clusters, and what I always do is like I untangle my yarn end before closing the magic ring, which we can do now. You don't have to close it completely, just so that it is stable and stays where it is. And then to finish the first round, we finish it with a half double crochet in the top of our fake double crochet. So yarn over, go in the top of your fake double crochet, yarn over, pull it through, 3 loops on your hook, then yarn over and pull through all 3 of them to make sure that your loop is right in the middle of this corner space right here. So now we are ready to change to our first color, and this would be yellow. And if you don't change the color, I will show it in part 2. And we always have to remember which one is our front side and which one is our back side. But usually after a few rounds, you already know, and you can also feel it where the front and the back is. So I'm going to grab my yellow color. And we are now going to add the yellow color, and this is quite easy. You put it over your hook and then just pull it through that loop on your hook, and then drag on the gray yarn a little bit to close it. And then we are ready to turn for the first time, and we turn in a way that our new yarn end here from the yellow is in the front of our work now, and the working color is right here, and we are going to push that to the back. And in addition, we are going to take the gray yarn and we will just crochet over it. So basically you have the gray yarn and the yellow yarn end together to crochet over them. And now we can start with our first double crunch corner, and the corner is always 2 double crochets, and in the center it's a single crochet, and this will be the same for all of the upcoming rounds. So we go back into the corner space, grab the yarn, pull it through, and first make a single crochet. You can also, if you want to, tighten up those yarn ends a little bit. And then in the same space, we are going to make a double crochet. And now we are at the first cluster. And now we can also start with our double crunch repeat. And in the first stitch, we make then the slip stitch. In the second, we make the double crochet. In the third, the slip stitch. And now we are already at the next corner, and we do just as I said it. We make a double crochet in the corner, then a single crochet, and another double crochet. Then we are at the next cluster. So again, we go in the first stitch, and in that case, we are not only taking the yarn through that we are working with, but we are also taking through our yellow yarn end to work it in when we go back. So we just pull both of the yarns through, and I will just release the tiny yarn end that was still there, because now we don't need it anymore. And we can continue with our double crunch pattern. So the next stitch is, of course, a double crochet, and then we have the next slip stitch. Then we are at the next corner, we have a double crochet. This yarn end is like not letting go. Then we have the next double crochet, and here's our next double crunch sequence, slip stitch, double crochet, and slip stitch, and then the next corner, double crochet, single crochet, double, then the next slip stitch, then the next double crochet, and then slip stitch, and now we are already at our initial corner, and we do a double crochet. Then we are going to take the gray yarn, our main colored yarn, here to the front, because of course we are going to need this when we continue, because now we are going to connect the round, and for that we take the yellow working yarn to the front, release the hook from the loop, and then we go into our very first stitch, which was the single crochet right here, and then we take the loop, pull it over the hook, and then pull the loop through to close it. You can drag on it to make it a little bit smaller, and now you can take the gray yarn, just put it over the hook and pull it through like that, drag on the yellow to close it, and turn, because the first round is done. Now you can definitely close the magic ring, and here you go, the very first round. It looks like a little flower, but honestly after each round it looks a little bit like a flower. And now we are good to go to continue. Our working yarn, our working color is right where we need it. We are also going to work over the yellow yarn end, so that in the end, when we are back here, we can then take it out. But first, let's make the corner when we make the main color. And the corner is now a little bit different, because we are going to start with a fake treble crochet. And this goes like this. We go back into the same stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through, 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2. Then we go back into the front bar, yarn over and pull it through, 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2. This would be the fake double crochet, and the fake treble crochet is just one additional step. So you go into the middle front bar, yarn over and pull it through to have a little bit of a higher treble. And after that we make in the same stitch a double crochet like that. And now we can start with our first quarter of double crochets. So we yarn over, and if you see it here, the loop is a little bit to the front. You can grab it and then push it to the back, yarn over and pull through 2 to make your first double crochet. Then in the next, which was the slip stitch in the previous round, double crochet, and then the next double crochet on top of a crunched double crochet. It doesn't look that pretty here, so I'm going to open it again. So yarn over and make the next double crochet on top of the crunched double crochet. So in between the corners, it really works exactly like we had it for the double crunch stitch, which is of course amazing. Yarn over and go into the next. Again, make sure that you're always keeping the previous yarn color. And here we were at the top of one of the corner double crochets, and here's the single crochet, and in this single crochet, which will be the corner, we make 1 double crochet, 1 treble crochet, a chain 1, and then the same thing in reverse order, a treble first and a double crochet. So first up, a double crochet in that single crochet from the previous round. And then we make a treble crochet if the yarn isn't stop bothering me. And then we make a treble crochet, so you yarn over twice, go in the stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2, because of course we have to go out a little bit. Then we chain 1, and then we go back the same way. We do a treble crochet first, so yarn over twice, and then a regular double crochet to create our border, and the rest is then the same. So we make double crochets in each of the stitches across. Then we're at the next corner. I'll show you one more time, and it's the same for all the gray rounds. So first up, we make a double crochet in that single crochet space, then yarn over twice and make a treble crochet, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. Then again, chain 1, yarn over twice, going the same way back. So it's quite easy to memorize. And then we continue all along with our double crochets. And now we are back at the corner. So we do the same thing. We make a regular double crochet and then a treble crochet, so it matches the fake treble crochet with what we started. And here's how the square now looks. And to close the gray round, we are now going to make a single crochet in the top of our fake treble crochet. So you go in the top and then yarn over and pull it through the 2 loops, because here we only made a chain 1, and a chain 1 when turning in a granny square is the same like we would close it with a single crochet. And now we can cut our yellow yarn because we crocheted over it 1 full round, so we don't really need to sew it in anymore. And we can start with the next color. So I'm going to grab, in that case, this lavender color, and again I will just put it over my hook and then just pull it tight. I'm taking the gray yarn from the front and I will again just crochet over it and the yarn end in the same way. And the good thing now, when we closed here with the single crochet, is that we have a pretty nice stitch to start working with. So you go in the stitch and you can make the single crochet, which is basically already our corner, so you don't have to do anything else. And after that we can just continue with the double crochet. Remember, in the colored rounds the corner was 1 double, 1 single, 1 double, and again for the gray it's 1 double, 1 treble, chain 1, 1 treble, 1 double. But you'll get it. Once you made a few rounds, you definitely get it. And now we can continue with our double crunch pattern. So after the double crochet in the same spot, we go into the next stitch and make a slip stitch. Then after that, a double crochet, then a slip stitch. And if you want to, you could also already here take the other yarn end through, so we don't have to bother about it. And then double just our regular double crunch sequence. And when we reach our corner, here where we had the chain 1, we again make a double crochet in that corner, then a single crochet, and another double, all in that corner. And after that, we just continue. And remember to always keep the yarn that you're not working with you. And interestingly, it doesn't even make the piece thicker. Personally, I even think it gives it a little bit more stability. And of course, otherwise you would have to cut it after each round and sew in those ends, and no one really wants to do that. So always keep it with you. Here's the next double crochet. So the row always ends with a slip stitch, and it starts with a slip stitch, and then in the corner double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, and so on. Back to the double crunch pattern. So here I am at the end. There's one stitch left, and of course that's the slip stitch to finish the row. Then again we take the gray yarn to the front, because now we are going to make a double crochet in the corner space like that, and then again we release the loop from the hook. We go into our single crochet from the front. We take the yarn, or we take the loop over the hook, and make sure to have your working yarn also to the front where your gray yarn is, and then just pull that loop through. Something's not really cooperating here. Here it is. And then drag on the lavender yarn, and then pull the gray yarn up and pull it through the loop. Again, tighten up the lavender loop, and here's where we are. I think it's so pretty, especially with the border. And as you can see, you don't even have to put a separate border around it, because the double crunch pattern already creates this beautiful border. So no extra work here. And like this we continue. So again, we take the colored yarn to the front, because we are going to crochet over it, and then we go back into the same stitch and start, in that case, with a fake treble crochet. So you go into that front bar once and twice to get like 3 stitches here, and then you know you're at the fake treble, and then yarn over, and in the same stitch we make a double crochet, and then we make double crochets all the way until we're at the next corner. Again, if this very first one here is a little bit weird, go from the front, make sure that the lavender yarn or the colored yarn is right in between your work to crochet over it, and then make the double crochet. And then here in the next slip stitch, it's usually easier. And when you reach the center of the first corner or all the other corners, yarn over and make a double crochet into that single crochet from the previous round, and then a treble crochet. So yarn over twice and pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2, and chain 1, and the same thing reverse. So we start with the treble and then the double crochet all in the same corner space, and after that it's all double crochets, 1 double crochet in each of the stitches until you reach the next corner. And I will see you back when I finish the round and then change the color one last time to show you, and then I think you're good to go. And I'm at the last corner. Of course, I also took the yarn end and crocheted it in, and now we only have 2 stitches left, and we are all going to make them in this corner stitch where we started. And the first one is going to be a double crochet and then a treble all into that same stitch, and then we close the round with a single crochet in the top of our fake treble crochet, and like that the round is done. You can always stretch it out a little bit, but I think you can see how absolutely beautiful and symmetrical this square gets. Absolutely beautiful. And now the fun part, cutting off yarn ends, because we crocheted over both of them, and like that color changes are no issue at all. And I'll show you once more how to change the color. Up next we have orange, which is going to be my messiest color because it's like all bits and pieces. Let's see if I have a longer piece. Here it is. And we just take it over the hook, pull the gray tight, and then we just turn the work and we leave the yarn end to the front, and we go back into our single crochet and yarn over, pull it through to make a single crochet on top of it to start our round, and then again into the same stitch a double crochet, and then we can start our double crunch sequence. 1 slip stitch, 1 double crochet, slip stitch, double crochet, and with the next slip stitch I'm going to also take the yarn end and I will just pull both of these loops through, and usually the one in the front right here is the one to pull through, and from there I will just continue. And I hope everything was clear. Maybe as a quick recap, when we work the color in the corner, it's a double crochet, single crochet, and a double crochet. And when we have the gray round, we have double crochet, treble crochet, chain 1, treble, double. But of course, feel free to go back to the beginning of this chapter and just try it out, or start with the solid version, which I'm going to show you next in this tutorial. So let's continue with the one-colored version in the form of a sweat rag or dishcloth, where we start with the little hanger. And for this I'm going to take this red yarn right here, and I'm also going to increase my hook size to a 4.5. You can play around a little bit depending with the yarn that you're using. Here it says usually 3 to 3.5 millimeters, so I went up 1 millimeter in hook size just to keep it soft and flowy, and just make a test. You will see how soft and beautiful it gets when the hook is a little bit bigger. And first we start again with a magic ring. So again, I do as if I would do a slip knot, and then I take my yarn and pull it through the hole, and then I just close the slip knot, put the yarn in, and we are good to go. And we are actually going to start with the hanger, and for the hanger we are going to chain 16, so yarn over and pull through the loop, and do this until you have 16 chain elements. Here we go. And now we are just connecting it back into our magic ring by making a slip stitch. So you go in the magic ring and just pull up the loop, and then just slip stitch it to keep it in the magic ring. And from there it's the same beginning like we had it before. So we start with the fake double crochet. So you go in the magic ring, grab the yarn, pull it through, yarn over and pull through the 2 loops on your hook to have a single crochet, and then go in the front bar, yarn over, pull through to have a fake double crochet. And now to finish the first cluster, again 2 more double crochets, and same like we had it for the multicolor version. For the first round only, we chain 2 in the corner and then make 3 more clusters of double crochets, always separated by a chain 2. And once we have that, we can then close the magic ring. Don't close it too tight. Now we are going to take our hanger and put it to the front. And now we will close the round with a half double crochet in the top of our fake double crochet. So you yarn over, go in the top stitch of your fake double crochet, grab the yarn, pull it through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 of them. And the hanger is right in the center where it should be. And let's make a crunch round and a full round of double crochets, and then I will show you how to fix that in. So the beginning is completely done and the hanger is basically also done. And we can now start working our first double crunch round. And for that, we are just going to turn our work. And now we can start working in our first corner. And we do this the same way like we had it before. We go in the corner and first make a single crochet, and then start with a double crochet in the same corner space. Then we start our double crunch sequence. So slip stitch, double crochet, slip stitch, and then we're at the next corner. Again, double crochet, single crochet, and double crochet, and the next double crunch, slip stitch, double crochet, slip stitch, and the corner, double crochet, single crochet, double crochet. So it's always alternating stitches. And To finish the round, we make another double crochet into the same space where we started. And then we take the yarn to the front, so the exact same thing like we had it before. Then we go into the top of our single crochet, grab the loop, put it over your hook, and then just drag that loop through. And now we can already turn. And again, this same space is the space where we start our next round. So we go in. We now have like the non-double crunch round, and it works the same way like I've showed it to you before. We make a fake treble crochet. So first a single crochet, then go back in the front bar, yarn over, pull it through, and another grab in the front bar until you see 3 stitches here on the sides. And then in the same stitch we make a double crochet. So we are basically making a solid granny square with just a double crunch layer in between. And now where we had like the double crochet, slip stitch, double, slip stitch, double, we are just making the double crochets on top of it. And once we reach the corner with the single crochet, in the single crochet we start with a double crochet, then a treble crochet, so yarn over twice and pull it through 2, through 2, and through 2. Then we chain 1, then the next treble, then the next double, all in that same corner stitch or space. And then we continue along the way 1 double crochet into each of the stitches until we reach the next corner. And I will show you how to close the round, and then we will also take care of the yarn end and the hanger. And when you reach the end, we place in the same space where we started first a double crochet and then a treble crochet. And we finish the round. Where is it? Here is it. With a single crochet into the top of our fake treble crochet. So go in the top of the treble of the fake treble crochet, yarn over, pull it through 2 loops, yarn over and pull it through to close it. And here's how it looks. And now let's just make the hanger part. First we are going to close the magic ring tight, and then we are going to take our yarn needle, put it over there, and here, as you can see, there's like this one part right here that's a bit shifted to the sides, and I will just go in here and then back into the center of our ring just to like push it in, and then I will go into the next, hopefully not losing the yarn again. And then I'm going to push it up here. I'm just fixing the hanger in the center. Of course I lost the yarn, as always. And like that, the hanger is in the center. We can now use the rest of the yarn end and just go in the back of our magic ring. This should be tight already, so you don't need to sew it in that much. It will probably just stay where it is. Let me just take one more. And here we go. Cut it. And then we can just continue. It's a quite relaxing square. You only have to change the direction. So right now we are going back, and for when we ended the round with a single crochet, we can start the round by going back into that single crochet and yarn over and just pull it through to make another single crochet, which will be the first stitch of this new round, which is going to be a double crunch round. So that means after that, and since we're in the corner, we make a double crochet in the same space, and then it's the sequence slip stitch, double crochet, slip stitch, and so on. And before reaching, make sure that you end. And before reaching the next corner, make sure that you check yourself that your last stitch before the corner is always the slip stitch. And then we go in the corner space with a double crochet first, then again the single crochet and another double crochet to finish the corner, and then again our sequence. And I'll meet you at the end of this round to show you again how to connect it. And here we are. There's just one double crochet in the same corner space where we started left, and then again we take the yarn to the front, release the loop from the hook, go with your hook from the front into the top of the single crochet, the first stitch of the round, pull it through, and then we can start with the next round. And it's again in this space right below, and of course we start with a fake treble crochet, and the rest is the same like I showed you. There's not much more to tell you other than just try it with one color, with two colors. I think it's just super pretty. It looks like a stamp. And for those who don't know what a stamp is, you're way younger than me. Or a cookie, like those cookies with those edges. I think it's super pretty. And let's see how many rounds I made. Here I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, until I had 6 double crunch rounds. Here I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as well. So if you want to make yourself such a sweat rack, then do 6 rounds, and feel free to add like a snap hook like this, so you can put it on your back and won't lose it to wipe off all the sweat. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed getting to know how to make this beyond beautiful double crunch granny square. I'm super proud that I cracked this, and I can't wait to make beautiful things with it. And there might be 1 or 2 projects with this granny square coming very soon, in the next few weeks maybe, because I just can't let go of the double crunch stitch yet, especially when the things that come out of my experiments with it are such beautiful results. And have fun with it, make something beautiful with it. And if you made something with the double crunch granny square, always feel free to tag me so I see it, or post it under my community tab, or send it to me via messenger, email. I'm always so happy to see what you're making with my ideas and my inspirations that I give you. And until then, I'll see you for the next video. And hopefully I will see a lot of you next Wednesday for the big live of the Battle of the Stitches, the battle that it was all the battle's fault that I'm like in this total obsession with the double crunch stitch, but it's the good kind of obsession, of course. And I hope to see some of you there as well. It's going to be on Teresa's channel from Critters Crochet, but of course, I will also give you a link in my community tab where you can then just click on it and then tap on the little bell icon to get notified when the live stream starts. And until then, happy crocheting, happy double crunching, bye.